Discipline is an interesting thing. It varies from purpose to purpose, right? So when you're thinking of why is discipline so important to get to a goal, obviously discipline creates structure so that it's like a step-by-step process so you know where you're going when it comes to discipline and a goal. When it comes to like discipline in life, in terms of, it's such an open topic about discipline because like where's the discipline coming from? Is it self-mastery where I recognize that something is not for my greatest good, where I can say no to things? Or is it for something that I want to achieve where I can say yes to things, no to things? So let's say in terms of health, right? For some people, discipline would be like not eating the cupcake. I'm so tempted to eat the cupcake, but I'm not going to eat it today because I know I'm trying to like lose 10 pounds. And then there's the self-mastery where it's like, I'm not going to eat that cupcake because I know it's full of garbage and full of crap. And I don't want to put that in my body. So I know I don't feel good when I eat the cupcake. It's not even a choice. That's a no for me, dog. So it becomes easier when you're trying to master yourself as opposed to thinking there's an end goal, right? So there are people that can become so health obsessed, where I've been there in my life, where I've restricted, and it actually made me more dense as a person, and it made it harder for me to have real discipline because I'm thinking I'm not allowed to have it. I'm restricted from it, as opposed to looking at it and being like, I don't want it. It's not for me. Thank you, but no thank you. What we think is discipline, what it really is fear. So when you're living from a fear state of discipline, like I'm afraid that somebody's gonna come do something to me or get me. Like when I was beat, I was afraid to jump off the couch because I might get spanked, as opposed to learning and my parents teaching me, okay, you jump off the couch, then you're destroying my couch and you could hurt yourself. More importantly, this is my property, and when somebody asks you to do something with their property, you have to respect them. So when you teach discipline out of respect, it comes from such a different place as opposed to fear. And so the same thing I was talking about before, like I'm afraid to eat the cupcake. I'm afraid to eat the cupcake when it comes to health because I'm afraid it's going to make me fat, as opposed to recognizing that that's not even what it's about. It's not even about you getting fat from a cupcake. And I eat cupcakes, right? It's not about fear though. It's I choose, you make conscious choices because you're not living out of fear, and then it's easy. But when you're afraid of, like, if you're going to work and you're doing your job, let's take it to work. You're doing your job because you love what you're doing. You're showing up as your best self, and you're giving your all because you know you have something to offer at the job, as opposed to going into your job and being afraid that somebody's watching you. And whenever somebody's not watching you, you go on your phone. And then when somebody's watching you again, you're acting busy and you're acting disciplined, but like you're just afraid to get reprimanded for not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's just being afraid when you're feeling like you're doing things because you're supposed to, as opposed to really wanting to from your innermost being. When we're so caught up in life where we're like decision overloaded, it's like so many things happening. How do I make the right decisions? And that's really what it is. It's not even that most people lack discipline. It's that we're so overloaded and overwhelmed with decisions and choices and trying to understand things. And once we got something down, there's another thing to try to understand, and it's a never ending. So it's like that first step of where you want to go. And it's the most important thing about having discipline is knowing where you're going. And I always say there's no end goal, but if you were to create an ultimate end goal, and for me, it's like I see myself happy at an old age with kids and grandkids and a big family, sitting somewhere warm, and we're all happy and laughing and healthy. I won't be able to experience that joy, that health, that happiness, that fruitfulness of life unless I take care of me now, right? So if I'm not making choices to stay healthy, to stay aware in my mind to stay sane in my mind, how can I get to that place where I know I'm at an age where I still feel good and have a big family? It's impossible. You can't worship two gods, right? So I can't not take care of now and get there as well. And I think that's the biggest thing, where sometimes we're so short-sighted in instant gratification, but instant gratification never fuels anything really. It's a feel good for a second, but when we really feel good is when we make these choices out of knowing it's for our greater good, knowing it's for a higher purpose of this life. And so that was really long-winded to say, when you want to become disciplined now, trying to understand why. Why am I trying to get disciplined? Because just wanting to get to like losing 30 pounds is cool, but why? What is it about losing 30 pounds that's going to make your life better? What do you see when you're 30 pounds less? What do you see yourself doing at that weight? Is it the same stuff you're doing now? Because then you don't really want to be 30 pounds less. Let's be honest, right? When it comes to discipline of the mind, like I want to start reading more. I want to start learning more. Why? What do you see yourself doing when you have more knowledge? What do you see yourself doing when you have a healthier body, mind, and soul? And I think that's the greatest catapult for getting you into like the doing of like self-mastery and discipline, like really being able to make conscious choices. And that's what discipline is. Thanks for watching, and I hope you gained something from this. You know, I don't know anything at the end of the day. I'm just sharing what I feel. And feel free to comment, like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, and keep watching, keep sharing. Thanks, guys.